tank that can simulate all kinds of extreme weather conditions at sea. High winds, storms, lightning, rain.
It's going to be deep. If it's going to have storms and waves and
Yeah, but some of us might be across the
Will has to get through this task to stand any chance of landing the career he's set his heart on.
I need to overcome my fear of deep water to achieve my dream job as a flight attendant. And one of the key requirements is to be able to swim in deep water, rescue people, and at the moment I can't even rescue myself.
From here, Annie's handing the group over to the experts.
All of me wants to go home, not just a bit, all of me, take all of me home. But I'm going to try and conquer this.
So they've got a vague idea of what's going to be happening, but they don't know entirely what is going to be happening. And so often with phobias and fears, people allow themselves to speculate, and quite often that speculation will be far worse than the reality.
It'll be deep, because if it has waves and storms, it means it's got to be realistic, which means it'll be deep.
Yeah.
I want to see Joanne.
Will's overwhelmed by the prospect of the task ahead. He seeks out support from fellow group member Joanne.
You're all right, listen, we can do this. You're going to be fine. You're going to be absolutely fine.
Yeah.
Got to do it. You've got to go ahead and do it.
Yeah.
And I'll be with you all the time. I'll stay with you, honestly. And believe me, they can't do any lightning.
It's for my job, and my job is everything to me. It's what I want to do. I want to become a flight attendant.
Can Will face his fear as the group encounter their toughest challenge yet? Dealing with storm conditions in a sea survival tank. Ten people with an extreme fear of water have come together to try and overcome their phobia in just 3 days. International yachtswoman Annie O'Sullivan is pushing them to face their fears together, because working as a group is their best chance of being cured. They don't know it yet, but in just 24 hours' time, they'll face the challenge of their lives: fishing out on the open sea. First, they need to learn how to survive if the worst should happen in the RNLI's 4-meter deep survival tank. For 20-year-old Will, the prospect is terrifying. So psychologist Richard Reed is coaching him into tackling his fears head-on.
If any thoughts are coming in, just bring your attention back to what's happening with your breathing.
If Will doesn't take part in this job, he won't stand a chance of achieving his ambition to become a flight attendant.
To tackle the task, I'm going to have to use my teammates to help me get through it, because I know it's just as difficult for them.
Sea survival training is tough. By the end of today, the group need to prove they can cope with an accident at sea in extreme weather conditions.
Your safety is our paramount importance to us. It's absolutely vital that you start to listen up to what you're being told to do.
Trainer Glenn and his team of survival experts know these 10 people are petrified of water, so they're going to take them through the training in stages. Psychologists Richard and Becky are on hand should any of the group break down.
First phase of today's exercise, so you're going to go nice and slowly down the steps and then move away from the ladder. Let's get into a group huddle, working as a team. The aim of this is there a bigger search target for a lifeboat crew? Helicopter comes in and can see them, OK?
For Liz, who can't even put her head under a shower, the task ahead is just too terrifying.
Deep breaths.
She needs to rejoin the group to stand any chance of overcoming her fear.
In through nose, out through pursed lips.
So psychologist Becky Spellman works to try and calm her down.
Again. And this is just going to help you sit with that anxiety and just tolerate it. It's actually far healthier for them to go into the situation, have loads of distress, no matter how painful that looks. It's far better than them not doing it. Again. And just keep breathing really deeply.
Right, what I'd like you to do is Alex is going to walk you down.
Not only do the aquaphobics have to deal with wearing 10 kilos of life-saving gear, they're facing the extreme challenge of getting into a tank of water which is 4 meters deep. For 34-year-old Italian student Ellis, this is well beyond her comfort zone. But she's in.
OK then, in we come. OK, ready? Yeah. Good. It's you. You know what to do now.
Go on, Will.
Despite his earlier panic, Will's determined to give it a go.
Just look where your feet go as you go down the foot plate.
His fear stems from childhood, when he was swimming in the sea with his family and an undercurrent dragged them into deep water.
Water is unpredictable. I panic when I can't feel my feet on the bottom, and then my body freezes up and I feel like I'm drowning.
I'm right behind you, Will. Go on, Will, you can do this.
Oh, good. So what it is, just actually just not come away from the ladder. He's just going to keep holding.
With the group's support, Will's fighting his fear and is holding his nerve to get to the centre of the tank.
OK, well done, Will. OK, so 3 more.
But the prospect is all too much for mum of 2 Louisa.
I don't know, I do not like, you know, that's like, it's part of my fear. Not being able to feel anything underneath, yeah.
OK, what I'd like is another volunteer, OK? Up we come.
Because she's desperate to overcome her fear so she can take her daughters swimming, Louisa forces herself to try and join the others in the water.
That's it, look at me. Deep breath. Good. Right, now what we've got to do is take a step back and look where your foot is going onto the foot plate, OK? Yeah. Good. Well done.
And she's done it.
You did really, really well. You did really well.
But Liz has deliberately hung back.
You'll quickly come across if you wouldn't mind.
Come on, Liz, you can do it.
You can do it, Liz.
Deep breath. So off we go then. So right foot back. I've got you.
These trousers are too tight.
You can do it, Liz.
OK, that's it. Nice and gently. Another inch.
Liz's water phobia started as a child.
When I was 5, I went on holiday. There were 2 pools there. I jumped in and didn't come back out. I was taken to hospital and I nearly drowned.
Put your foot on, and that's the rung again. Well done. Same again.
Oh, God. Oh.
Good.
No.
Stop. You're floating. I'm not holding you.
OK, then.
Now Liz is in, all 10 need to join together in one big huddle. If a boat capsizes at sea, they'll have to hold on to each other to stay afloat and to provide a bigger target for a rescue team.
Okay, I'm just going to turn you round.
Still scared, Liz has to be guided into the circle.
Okay.
I'm going to hold on to the back of your jacket. Just going to
And Ellis has to be helped as well. The combination of deep water and being close to other people is her worst nightmare. When she was 6 years old, she was pushed into a swimming pool by other children.
They kept my head down, and it probably was like less than a second, but to me it felt like forever. I thought I was dying. Don't push me down! Don't push me down! Yes, no. No, no.
The group huddle is more than Ellis can bear, and she's panicking.
You're okay.
The psychologists and the RNLI team are on hand to ensure her safety, but she wants to get out.
You didn't fail. You didn't fail, you did it, you got in.
I didn't trust you. I don't trust people around water, especially if they're as afraid as I am. And I couldn't get into the huddle. I tried, but I felt like they were pulling me down. I had to get out of the circle.
The group have struggled through the huddle exercise. Now they have another scenario to contend with. This time, they need to jump directly into the tank, as if jumping off a sinking boat into the sea. It's going to be tough.
3, 2, 1, go.
Oh gosh.
Well done, Alan.
Okay.
With the group's support, Ellis has got over her panic and is ready to face her fear once more. She's done it. Louisa's also battled through her tears.
That's it. Big step, big step, big step.
Okay, well done. Well done.
I'm not going to do it. Okay, wait there then. Let's get you straight into there. We'll get him out of the way.
Yes. Well done. Oh.
And at last, she's turned a corner.
Well done. This is Rob.
I never thought I'd do that.
Brilliant.
Once in, the group have to board a life raft in preparation for a simulated storm at sea.
Apart from the fact that these guys are freezing cold now, they've got a ton of weight on them, and they've then got to climb up and pull themselves in. It's really difficult.
They'll need to help each other.
You're right, Will.
But while the others are scrambling into the life raft, Liz is still on the side, too scared to jump.
Good. That's it. You don't want a pep talk. Hand on. Quick. Go.
No.
Yes, you can.
No.
Yes, you can.
No, I can't. No.
Come on. Trust us. Trust yourself. Trust the kit. Right. Okay, good. Got the position. 3, 2, 1, and step. Go on, big step out. Step on a train, step on a train, step on a train.
Liz is finally in. She's in the safe hands of the RNLI, but she just can't control her panic. Liz is getting out of the tank, but Annie and the psychologists know the best way to cure her phobia is to return to the rest of the group in the water.
She needs to go straight back in as quick as possible, and she'll learn that actually she can feel that level of anxiety and fear and nothing bad's going to happen to her.
See if you can get the team to get Liz in. You've got to get in with the rest of your team, all right, because you're a team. Boys are going to take you over there, all right?
Oh my God, Liz, you're so brave.
All 10 are now safely on board, but it's not over yet. Time for the moment they've been dreading. Force 5 wind, lashing rain and rolling waves to simulate the reality of an accident at sea. For 10 people with water phobia, this is a nightmare situation. but they've got through it.
The guys have just been in a life raft together. Waves, noise, rain.
So proud of you, well done. Just go around there and stand over there for us. We'll get everyone else out. Watch the rope there, that's it.
They're coming out now with smiles on their faces.
Oh my gosh, that was amazing.
I can't believe we've just done that. I'm so proud of everybody. And then Liz even came in the end.
Liz doing it and then
got out and then
back
came back in and got in the life raft.
She was a star.
You know?
She
Yeah,
was an
she done
absolute
really
star.
well.
I really thought I was going to die. My life flashed before my eyes. Honestly, did think I was going to die. I did it.
It's taken 3 long, cold hours in the tank, pushed to their limits, but the group have completed the job and learned the skills necessary to survive at sea. Little do they know that the survival tank was the easy bit. Can the group cope with the ultimate test, fishing on the open sea?
I really do not believe I'm doing this.
Ten strangers have come together to conquer their phobia of water. Today they will have to confront their greatest fear, the sea. Portland Marina in Weymouth, and the last opportunity for every member of the group to overcome their phobia for good. Expert yachtswoman Annie O'Sullivan is about to reveal their final job. 3 local fishing boats are heading out to sea to catch lobster and crab, some of which will go to a local restaurant.
You are going to go out on fishing boats and haul up the catch. You are going to be fishermen.
It's the most dangerous job in the world.
Oh, don't.
The group need to conquer their terror and adapt quickly to being out on the ocean if they're to stand any chance of bringing back a catch. For 62-year-old jeweller Liz, who's still scared of deep water, it's a petrifying prospect.
My wife's nightmare out there was the boat capsized and sunk. That would be my nightmare. Oh, no.
Full-time mum Louisa is also dreading going out to sea.
My worst nightmare about going out into open water is if the boat tips or the boat sort of throws us off and we land in the water. That would be, yeah, I'm not even trying to think about that.
And for Will, who dreams of becoming a flight attendant, this job means having to deal with the root of his fear.
The sea has a lot of effect on my phobia because it's where it sort of started, out at sea. So I've avoided the sea since then. I was on holiday in the sea with my dad and my brother, and Alex was caught by an undercurrent. My dad went to help him, and he left me on my own in the ocean, and I felt like I was going to drown. Always at the back of your mind, really. That element of danger is always there.
This will be the first time that Will's been near the sea for 10 years. Fishing at sea is dangerous, and Annie has some stern words of warning for the group.
These are real, live, working fishing vessels. And so the lessons that you learnt about safety yesterday, you must remember them.
Space on the crab boats is limited, so the group divide into 3 teams. Each team boards a separate vessel.
Watch your head.